Hello and welcome back to Solid. My name is Jake. Thank you guys very much for joining me on today, Thursday, what month? April 9th. I can read numbers. I'm pretty good at it. Thursday, April 9th. Guys, we got a ReKawp that we got going on here today. We get to ReKawp the Battlehawks week 2 26-9 win over the San Antonio Brahmas. You know, they went to 2-0. They're undefeated. Who's the dicks? The DC Defenders are undefeated. They're playing each other on Sunday. We're not going to worry about that yet. We're going to go back in time. We're going to talk about what the hell happened in that game, that home opener, where they just shut down anything, not anything, shut down a whole lot, we'll say that. Most of whatever San Antonio was trying to do. I should say this, because of this game, I don't want to say it's because of this game. This game and San Antonio's week 1 game, they fired their offensive coordinator, AJ Smith. He's that young-looking cat, real young-looking dude, who talks into the microphone probably way too much for any quarterback to actually like be comfortable. But they fired him. They just don't have an offensive coordinator right now. They announced that yesterday, and dude's just gone. And they're just like, you know what? It's probably better we don't have AJ Smith, and we'll figure out what the hell we're gonna do. But nobody's better than him. And by nobody's better than him, I mean nobody is better than him. Having nobody is better than you guys get what I mean. It's a really dumb move, and they're a bad team. And Wade Phillips is stupid. But I think the best place to start with this. So, again, still waiting to try to get the L-22 from the UFL or the Battlehawks, or I don't know. If anybody has any ideas on who I should reach out to for it, give me an idea, because my two ideas are not working. I'm going to say this first, just housekeeping stuff. If you're listening to this, you want to watch it, go to Solid Pod on YouTube. If you're watching it and you don't want to see this, then eat a dick, and you can listen to it. I still do appreciate you if you did listen to it, but you can. You understand why I'm insulted. That's my point. Okay, starting this off. So I'm watching this thing on the broadcast. And number one, I should say this. My tickets at the game are in section 313. The broadcast booth is in section 314. Very clever that they did that. Area code and all. When I walked into the stadium, so our seats are on like the left side. You walk into the stadium and our seats are like 16 and 17, so it's further on the left side. So we walk in right in between section 313 and 314. And normally, I say normal, most of the time, I should say, there's broadcast booths set up there. Last time we were in the stadium, there had the whole shit set up for Tom Brady, who I accosted. If you want to see a video of me accosting Tom Brady, first time I've ever accosted anybody, and the best time I'll ever accost somebody. I will never accost somebody better than that. But if you want to see a video of me accosting Tom Brady, I put it on my YouTube. Anyway, I walk in. There's no broadcast booth there. I'm like, oh, they're doing this stupid bullshit where they are doing a remote. They're calling it from like a remote location or something like it's 2020. Remember when, like, during the pandy, there was like all the people, like all the broadcasters were like set up like studios. Like, this isn't a studio. This is just a room that I decorated. But like they were calling it from like their basement. I think that's what they were doing for this game. And watching it and listening to it for the little bit that I did listen to it, you could clearly tell that they were. But going into that, and they'll win it. I'm just going to give them the award now. That's what I do. So the ReKawp, I go through everything and then I give awards to people. And the award that I'm going to give out right now is going to be the award for worst broadcast team. Not that. So it was Connor Onion and Joel Klatt. And it's not that they're bad at their jobs or anything like that. It's just that their voices are too damn similar, man. Too damn similar. Like, if you were at the game and you want to go back and rewatch it, I don't know, go on YouTube and search Battlehawks Brahmas full game, and you'll be able to get at least parts of it. Or go to like the Fox Sports page. But listening to these two guys, you can't tell. You can't tell the difference between Connor Onion and Joel Klatt. And I like Joel Klatt, and Connor Onion, I don't know, bad name. Connor Onion, like if that's a stage name, buddy, I'm sorry that you lost that bet. If that's your real name, buddy, I'm sorry that you lost the lottery. But yeah, no, they're going to win the award for worst broadcast team. Anyway, let's get into this shit. All right, first place that we're going to start with is going to be Manny Wilkins. And like I say every single week, I do my own passing chart. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up. If you're listening to this, you're missing out because you're not going to see it. This was Manny Wilkins' passing chart from last week. Again, if I circle it, it means that it was an incomplete, and then I kind of like fucked up at this one here, right here in the middle. Scribbled the wrong thing because it's hard to count. All right, that was his first. That was the week 1 passing chart. Okay, that was week 1. As you can see, the entire right side of the field, he had just the one completion on a 3rd and 4. He had an incomplete that was 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. That was in week 1. Go to week 2. Our man's chunking the ball all around. It's almost like he ignored the left side of the field on this one, but he didn't really. Man, the guy's pepper in the middle of the field. He's hitting guys on the right side of the field. I'm liking the way that Manny Williams is developing with his arm. This game. I mean, what did he only threw the ball, 16 times? Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, he only threw the ball 16 times. He's 12 for 16 for 162 yards, no touchdowns, and we'll get to that. But it's a 75% completion rate. Like he did good. He was getting the ball out decisive. We'll get to that, okay? So this is his passing chart, and he did a lot better throwing the ball. Going back again to last week, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. 9 passes behind the line of scrimmage. This week in week 2, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there was another passes incomplete behind the line of scrimmage on a extra point. But really just 5 passes behind the line of scrimmage. That first game I was saying, man, if Manny Wilkins wants to just operate the offense and take what's open behind the line of scrimmage, I have no problem with that. But this time, man, he's chunking the ball downfield, and that's really cool. They weren't all perfect passes or anything like that, but I'm glad that he was being decisive and really driving the ball. Okay, getting into him. First and foremost, he is on the injury report this week with a left hamstring. Let me make sure. Let me scroll all the way up to the top here and make sure that it was he was a limited participant. So I don't know how it is in the UFL. I'm assuming it's kind of the same as it is in the NFL. You either DNP, did not practice, you're a limited participant, or you're a full participant. Did not practice is 0%. Full practice is 100%. Limited is literally 1% of practice to 99% of practice. We don't know how much limited is, but it is obviously better than did not practice. Again, we don't know how fucked that is, but yes, it is his left hamstring. He was a limited participant, so not great. You don't want that, and we'll keep an eye on that. I will say, when I was watching this, once they pulled Manny Wilkins and put Max Duggan in, there's like 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. I stopped watching there. I was like, they're putting the backups in. They're beating the shit out of this team. It's not worth watching. If Manny Wilkins, if it progresses worse, degresses, regresses, if it doesn't get better and it doesn't look like he's going to play, I'll go back and watch more of the Max Duggan stuff. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I probably should, actually, honestly, or else that's like jinxing it. If I'm just assuming that Manny Wilkins is going to play, if Manny Wilkins doesn't play, this might be on me. And you can blame me for that. Anyway, Manny Wilkins, okay, I think that he did well. He mostly made good reads, and that is both throwing the ball and running the ball. There was that early one, I believe it was the Battlehawks' second drive. It was a 3rd and 10. and you could see that he knew that he got the ball out late. There was a mesh route or a mesh concept underneath. Both of those guys were open. Again, it was I believe it was a 3rd and 10. Let me make sure. Yes, this is a 3rd and 10. He had mesh concepts open underneath, but he ended up waiting in the pocket for a little bit too long. Kind of drifted to his right a little bit. I don't think he actually like literally patted the ball. But then he got it out late to JaKor Pearson. It was on the sideline, and then the ball was in the air for damn near 5 seconds. Man, he just floated the ball. But good thing is that he clearly learned from that. He clearly learned from that. Sorry, I'm moving a light real quick. I hope this doesn't fuck everything up. He clearly learned from that, because later on, man, some bitch was just driving that ball. He was driving that ball. Like there was one, and I think it was, to me, there's two good. It's between two plays for his best reps. There was one, it was a 3rd and 16. And this one I think actually is going to be the better rep, because San Antonio only rushed 3. That means they dropped 8 guys into coverage. Is on a 3rd and 16. And then Manny Wilkins, I can't remember exactly what the route combination was. But Manny Wilkins absolutely fucking lasers a ball to Blake Jackson. Man, he puts his foot in the ground and puts his body into it and just launches a ball to Blake Jackson. And for that to happen in the same game as a game where, again, is that Rookie of the Year? Henry Baumgartner at the end of it, he just does that softball pitch. He just floats it. And ends up striking out the what's his name, Big Potato or something like that. You guys have seen the movie, maybe. But that's what that first pass to JaKor Pearson was like. In this one, man, it's going back to Henry Rosengartner. I don't know. The entire bit in that movie is that the guy can't say his last name right. So you're going to have to forgive me for not remembering what his last name is. But Henry, somehow later on in the game, Manny Wilkins fucks up his elbow just like Henry did in that, and just absolutely fucking lasers a ball to Blake Jackson. So I think that one is actually going to be my best rep, purely because of the way that he learned from what he did before. The other good one was... This was a 3rd and 4. This is all on the same drive, by the way. This is all on the drive coming out of halftime, which was a tremendous drive. But there was another time, it was a 3rd and 4. And he did like a play action, and it wasn't even out of shotgun. And he just takes does the play action, fakes a handoff, and then takes one step back with his right leg, and then just in such good rhythm, just hammers a ball to Denzel Mims. Man, it was great, and it was 12. It was a 3rd and 4, but he hammers it to Denzel Mims 12 yards past the line of scrimmage. Man, it was good. Like he did. It's good to see this kind of growth, especially from where we were 2 weeks ago, where it's like, fuck, it's Manny Wilkins. This guy stinks, and turns out doesn't stink. Big time progression week over week, and then just through this game, man, I thought that he did real well. My biggest issue, and this is not a Manny Wilkins thing per se. I'm pulling up a water right now, and I'm gonna end up drinking this. I'm just gonna do it now. That's what you get whenever you're listening to a guy do a show by himself. It's not necessarily a Manny Wilkins thing. I think a lot of it is the way that they're calling plays. Far too many read options. And then just because of how good Jacob Saylors was, and hopefully this is a thing that the Brahmas did and other teams don't do, they bit hard on the running backs getting the handoff on these reads. And then that led to Manny Wilkins pulling the ball. And there was a handful of times where he pulled the ball, and I didn't think that he should have pulled the ball. Like there's one, and it was like a 3rd and 2, and he like ran out and got like lost a yard or something like that. And it's like, God damn it, don't do that. But he was pulling the ball, and maybe there's a handful of designed runs in there too. But I mean, he carried the ball 9 times for 58 yards. He probably, man, I would like, yes, that's good. Okay, he's clearly a weapon with his legs, and it is effective. But I don't. The guy, he plays like he's so much. I don't know the right word for it. He plays like he's so much bigger than he is, and he plays like he's so much more athletic than he is. Like there was one point late in the game where he tries to hurdle not one guy but two guys, and it's like, buddy, I don't know who you think you are. Like, what do you think you're Flubber? You think you're able to just bounce off the ground and just get up over the two guys? Manny, you think you're gonna get over two guys? Don't do that. Don't do that. And now your left hamstring's hurt. Like, buddy, I don't think that's the move. I would like to see less read options. Now, they're working. Okay, they're working. The other option that we could do there is throw another option in there and make it an RPO or a PRO. Like, if we're up, if the Battlehawks are up 26-9 and we're doing read options in the fourth quarter, see, he's clearly shown that he can do this. Maybe let's sprinkle in a few of those RPOs. Let's just get him in there a little bit just to see what happens. Like, if he throws an incomplete in the fourth quarter when you're up, I would argue 3 scores. Like they were up, what was 20? That's 17 points. I don't know. I could probably look it up. I don't necessarily want to, but I know that the percentage of teams that have made the 3-point extra point conversion thing, the number of those is very, very low. It's a 10-yard play in the red zone. So I would consider 17 points. I would consider that a 2-score game. I know it's technically a 3-score game, but it's a 2-score game. If you're up, in my book, 3 scores, man, let's maybe sprinkle in a play just to see, just for practice, just to see if he can do this. I don't know if there's how many RPOs and stuff are in this this Battlehawks playbook, but let's see what he can do. Because then he has that other option. If he does want to pull the ball, then he can just throw it. Like, there's no reason to make this guy take extra hits when he doesn't need to. That's kind of my point there. Like, again, it's not necessarily all Manny's fault that these read options are going his way. But I don't know. Like, again, the Brahmas were biting hard on the running backs, and it's like, God damn it, I wish they weren't doing that. I wish that they would think Manny would do it and was going to take the ball. But Manny took it, and a handful of times that he ran out of bounds, but whatever. Also, I like that he's feisty. I like that he's a feisty guy. So I was at the game, and I know that he got I don't want to say fucked up on the sideline there. But I think it was like a 3rd and 5 or something like that. Maybe it was a little bit longer than that, but he went out of bounds short of the sticks. And then he dicked down, what's the cat's name? Number 28 on the Brahmas. I wrote it down here. Let me see if I can find this. This isn't good to listen to. It's not important, but it's that number 28 that you know what play I'm talking about. He goes out of bounds, and he stiff arms the guy. He stiff arms this I believe it's Brahma's nickel corner. Stiff arms him into the ground, and then the guy ends up forcing him out of bounds. And then Manny Wilkins just walks up to him dick first and just kind of like holds it in his face. And that guy stands up and then swats the ball out of Manny Wilkins' hands and shoves him in his face. And I like that. Give me a quarterback who's going to dick down a guy. Like, that's a good thing. And the crazy thing is that just didn't come out of nowhere. That happened, like, I think it was like 2 or 3 plays before that. This nickel corner, Ja'Cory Pearson was blocking him, and this guy, like this number 28 was kind of fucking with Ja'Cory Pearson a little bit, and then Manny Wilkins saw that and like walks up to him, and man, I wish that there was more hot mics in this. I think the hot mic of the week award might go away, but you could clearly see Manny Wilkins just look at him in the eyes and just say bitch, and it's like, all right, yeah, okay, I get it. And so there's a little bit there. It started there, and then a couple plays later, this whole thing happened. But I like a shit disturber on my team. I like a shit disturber on my team, and if it's a quarterback, anybody retaliates against a quarterback, they're getting flagged. So I was happy that he did that too. But all in all, for Manny, I think that he was very decisive with where he was going with the ball. Aside from early on in the game, he started driving the ball hard. He was hitting the middle of the field, which is great. How many? Let's see. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 passes to the middle of the field, and then took some deep shots too. 4 passes out of 12. I mean, it's a quarter of his passes are going to the middle of the field. I'm fine with that. Or no, four completions out of 12. Yeah, right. Okay, he had 5 passes to the middle of the field, 4 completions to the middle of the field. So quarter of his completions are to the middle of the field. I'm totally fine with it. No, 4 is a third. A third of his completions go to the middle of the field. Fuck yeah, dude. So I think that he did good. I thought that we saw a lot of growth out of him. I hope that they stop having him do read options. Maybe give him just that other that pass option too. Wide receivers. They all did good. Let's see. Manny Wilkins ended up throwing the ball to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. And all of them came down with a completion. The Gary Jennings Jr. was 1 for 1. Blake Jackson 1 for 1. Jacob Saylor's 3 for 4. Denzel Mims 2 for 2. Jake Sutherland 1 for 1. Jarvian Howard 1 for 1, and Ja'Cour Pearson 3 for 6. So I'm a fan of that as far as their use in the passing game. Ja'Cour Pearson's the real interesting one here. Like I said, he was 3 for 6, but I think they did some really smart things with him. I liked that they definitely need to practice it more. Like whenever they're doing those pop passes, when he's coming in motion, he's at full speed, they snap the ball and just pop the ball into Ja'Cour Pearson's hand. I think if you're going to have him get the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and it's not going to be a screen or something like that or a swing pass, I think that's a good move because you want the fastest guy in your team to be moving at full speed, getting to the edge. Again, I think that there's some practice that needs to happen with that. There was a few things that the timing was off a little bit. I know at one point Jarvian Howard it looked like Jarvian Howard was supposed to get up and kind of seal the edge a little bit, which is kind of a weird thing to do. I'd rather throw like a tight end over on the right side rather than have a running back come from the backfield to block a defensive end. Just seems like that's a smarter thing to do. But it got blown up a little bit, and Ja'Cour Pearson ended up having to lose some speed and took a step deeper into the backfield and got tackled for a loss maybe or something like that. But I do like the idea there. As a blocker, I just wrote just a big X that I crossed through like 3 or 4 times. There was a handful of times in this game where, not a handful of times, early on in the game, they had him as a lead blocker on I believe it might have just been like a pitch or a swing, or a pitch or a sweep or something like that. Maybe it's a pass play. Anyway, they had him being a lead blocker. And I don't think that's a good idea to have your guy who is, let's see how tall Ja'Cour Pearson is. Ja'Cour Pearson is listed as 5'7", 178. There's just better, maybe not better guys. Well, for this specific job, there's definitely better guys, bigger guys. You'd be hard to find somebody who's small. Oh yeah, actually, you know what? He's the smallest. So literally anybody else being the lead blocker would be a cool thing there. So I didn't like that. And then there's another play later on where he got called for holding, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck you want the guy to do. Like he's gonna hold if he's trying to. He was trying to block a nickel like into the middle of the field to create an edge, and then he just grabbed onto him. It's like, yeah, that's what I would do. If you're listening to this, that's what you would do too. Is you would just grab on for dear life. So I thought that was kind of dumb. But the most creative thing that I think that they did, and this was on the Greg Jennings 60-yard pass. Okay. So they ended up having the Battlehawks knew that Ja'Cour Pearson had been getting some bracket coverage on him. He had a defender underneath him and over to the top, a safety over the top. So what they did is that they took advantage of that and had Ja'Cour Pearson, I believe he kind of ran like a little bit of a corner route to the sideline. Call it, I don't know, 30 yards, maybe not 30, maybe like 25 yards downfield to the sideline. But then they had Gary Jennings Jr. from the slot just kind of fake to the inside and then not beeline, but then fade to the sideline. And what that did is that he was able to not only when he went to the inside, he drew the one safety there, the only safety that was back. Because remember, there's another safety that was on top of Ja'Cour Pearson. So all of a sudden, we're looking at one safety deeper than the other, and Gary Jennings Jr. was able to draw the deeper safety to the right side of the field, and then when he cut left, he was beating that safety to the boundary. And then he's also deeper than the safety that's bracketing Ja'Cour Pearson. So they're using Ja'Cour Pearson kind of as that decoy. A lot of times you'll be like, okay, we want a burner wide receiver to really be able to stretch the field. But they almost really use Ja'Cour Pearson and just his usage and how often he gets targeted to draw safety in. and then let Gary Jennings Jr. get behind him and beat the other safety. I thought that was very smart. I thought that was a very smart route combination that they did there. And I think that that's the kind of thing that'll only get emphasized if and when Hakeem Butler comes back from his hamstring thing. But I was very happy with the way that they that play drew up, and it was the biggest play of the game, yardage wise. So I thought that was really good that they used Ja'Cour Pearson like that. Was there anything else? Frank Darby might not be able to block. He got called. He did not get called for a hold on the Jacob Saylor's 20-yard touchdown, his first touchdown, and I think that there was definitely a hold there. And then later on, he was holding when Wade Phillips called that super challenge on Frank Darby for holding. And then Dean Blandino comes in. He's like, yeah, he was moving his feet, so it's not a hold. It's like, I don't know if that's the rule, but if it's gonna benefit me, I'm not about to bitch about it. But I think he was definitely holding there. So, and then there's another play where he kind of got blown up off his block too. So Frank Darby as a blocker. I mean, this kind of been a thing that we've seen in the UFL, specifically with the Battlehawks, is what I've focused on. Like last year, Darius Shepard was kind of a shit at blocking too. Hakeem Butler this year, I mean, but granted, it's just a one-game sample size. But last year, it didn't seem like Hakeem Butler was going to be like the most physical blocker or anything like that. So we'll see. But the wide receivers that are blocking downfield is not necessarily been that great. Preferably until we kind of get that hashed out. I would not be mad if they just decided to use wide receivers to run people off. And if they get open, they get open. And if they run people off, then the Manny Wilkins has an even bigger lane to run through. So that's kind of where I'm at with the wide receivers. As far as running backs go, I don't really have a whole lot to say here. Jacob Saylor's rocks, man. What did he have? His final stat line. He only had 11 carries. I say only. Yeah, he only had 11 carries for 46 yards. The guy had 3 touchdowns. Like you can't. He's good, man. He fights for every single yard. There was an extra point that he also got, which it was so they handed the ball off to Jacob Saylors. He was very clearly supposed to pitch it to, or they do like a little mini like shovel pass to Ja'Cour Pearson, as Ja'Cour Pearson was going full speed. But Ja'Cour Pearson, when he was coming around, got hit. And it kind of slowed him down a little bit. Jacob Saylor saw that and then just said, fuck it, you know what, I'm going to take the ball myself, and then got a 2-point conversion off of a relatively blown up play. So Jacob Saylor's rocks, man. Jarvian Howard, I like their usage of him in short yardage. I like him. I mean, he's a thick boy, man. I like him. Just let him be beef. Let the beefy man be beef. I like they would, if they were just Jarvian Howard. He was okay off the edge. He was okay off the edge, and he actually had pretty good hands, and it was used pretty well in the passing game. But I really like the way that they're letting him be beef. There was. I think they must have talked to him after the week 1 game and be like, "Hey man, you don't need to hit the spin move button every single time that you single time that you touch the ball. Just maybe if you lowered your head and just ran forward, it would be good, and you would get the first down." And he's probably like, "Oh, I didn't think about that." There's a handful of times that he got first downs in this game on short yardage carries. If I had one critique, I would like for him to get it to lower his shoulder pad level. There's one time where he kind of like jumped into the offensive line, but jumped up kind of high. It still worked, but it seems like that'd be a good practice. But yeah, no, the running backs rocked, man. The running backs were just 3 touchdowns. Like, I don't know what else I can say about that. Like, the guy, he's fun to watch. Jacob Saylor is a fun running back to watch. As far as the offensive line goes, big change here is that Abdul Beecham, the right guard, is going to be out, I assume, for an extended amount of time, is based on what it sounds like. Hurt his fingers. If I can find, Abdul Beecham, left fingers, finger S in parentheses, did not practice on Wednesday. Not good because he's been playing really well. getting downfield and everything like that. So I imagine who we're going to see at right guard is going to be Donovan West. He had a handful of snaps last year. I don't think he's going to be Abdul Beecham. Abdul Beecham beat him out for the starting spot. But hopefully he's able to kind of give us at least a little bit of what we saw with Abdul Beecham. I mean, it's just been a really good offensive line. This game obviously was not better than their week 1 game where the Battlehawks rushed for 273 fucking yards. This game they only rushed for 164 yards. So man, yeah, come on, 100 shoot, dang. But no, they did good. It was good, not great. Jared Jones-Smith had some penalties on him, both holds and false starts, which is not what you want to see. There was one play. It was the only play that Manny Wilkins got sacked. It was weird, man. Somebody got turned around, or maybe there was some kind of blown assignment or something like that. But all of a sudden, you see the ball gets snapped. Mike Panashuk, the center, is blocking a guy in the middle, where you would assume that a center would set up in pass protection. And then in a split second, he's out on the right side trying to block an edge rusher, and then he missed the block. But I mean, I can't blame him for missing the block. It's a center coming that far to get something. I watched it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, it slowed the play speed down to 0.25. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened here. But yeah, no, that was kind of a blunder. That was really the only blunder that they had in pass protection as far as I noticed. But that was a weird one. I thought Steven Gonzalez did really good getting to the second level, and then Jawan Bushell-Beatty, I believe he had a false start, but he also did really good getting to the second level too. You get to the second level, that's how you get those Jacob Saylor's big runs and a 20-yard touchdown run, man. The offensive line, I have the complaints that I have are minuscule. Just play cleaner football, Jared Jones-Smith. That's my whole thing, and let's hope Abdul Beecham is not gone for too long. Now, as far as the offensive scheme overall, I know in the ReHawction that I had on Sunday, I said that I thought the offense was getting too cute. They did get too cute, but it's not as cute as I thought they were getting. They were doing some things, using a lot of motion, which I'm a big fan of using motion if you're actually going to use it and try to use it to, I mean, the 2 reasons that you use motion are to find out what coverage your, I guess 3, really 2. 3 the 2 reasons to find out what coverage the defense is in. If you go in motion and you get somebody to follow, very good chance that it's going to be man. Also, the other reason is that you can use it to out leverage your opponent. You get your guy into a better spot, put the defense in a worse spot. You get a guy moving, like I said, with your Pearson getting full speed. He's got better leverage. And initially, when I was kind of watching the game live, I was like, man, some of this stuff is kind of weird. I wish they weren't doing it that much. But no, going back and watching, I was like, this is actually pretty smart what they're doing, man. They kept the hammer down. I mean, it wasn't making them like late in the play clock or anything like that. I mean, they weren't rushing a whole lot of plays because they were doing motion and stuff like that. So I thought it was good. Again, like that first play of the game where they threw the ball to Blake Jackson. I believe he was in like some kind of orbit motion or something like that. I was like, this doesn't necessarily seem like this is a good move. You don't want to have your first play of the game be a pass that's 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You don't want it to be that. But other than that, it wasn't the cutest thing in the world. I think that they probably could have done some more things, but you mesh that with Manny Wilkins doing some of these read options too, and it's kind of hard to distinguish everything. But I think I'm going to formally withdraw, at least for now. I'm going to formally withdraw the stop being so cute critique. I'm going on record saying I'm going to take that critique away. Especially when I was watching this, I'm like, this is not Bruce Gradkowski's stupid bullshit offense where he's throwing tackles out to wide receiver. So it's not that cute. And when you compare it to that, it's really hard not to be. Let's see. I wrote fewer read options. I'm still going to hammer that because I want Manny Wilkins to be able to play football and not be broken. I thought that he had good play calling, a good sequencing, and by that I mean like when he was doing the play actions whenever the just making the kind of feeding off that run game doing well. It's not like he was doing a run and then a pass and then a run and then a pass. It's like, no. He's running it. They line up in the same formation, the same kind of motion and everything like that. Maybe not the same formation necessarily, but it's like, oh, we've seen what the out of this general formation, what they're going to do. Like if they motion a tight end to the backfield, and then they're going to have him be a lead blocker, like a fullback or I guess a H-back, and come down. But then they ended up doing a play action and then get I don't know, 10, 12 yards off of it or something like that. That's the kind of sequencing that I'm talking about, where you show the defense kind of the same thing over and over again, not over and over, but you show the defense something, and then you run a completely different play off of it. So I'm a big fan of them doing that. I thought that Phil McGeegan, who I looked today, blocked me on Twitter, which is fine. I don't know why. Like I looked at my tweets. It's like, did I ever tweet at Phil McGeegan? So Phil McGeegan at some point had beef with me. And now it just doesn't know I exist. I think I've complimented some of these coaches before. Like last year, Kyle Caskey, when it was against the that first game. I think it was the first game against the Defenders when Chris Garrett got 2 blocked punts. I tweeted, man, at Chris Garrett or whatever his handle is, hates punts. And then Kyle Caskey retweeted it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad this guy appreciates this. Phil McGeegan is like, I don't want any of this nonsense. Not in my life. Not in my will. Get the hell out of here. So, yeah, I've never been blocked by somebody like that. No, Wade Phillips blocks me. Because I talk shit on Wade Phillips a lot, but he blocks a lot of people anyway. But yeah, I thought the play calling and sequencing was good. I liked the way that Phil McGeegan called the game. There wasn't any of those, at least there wasn't a whole lot of those late play calls and stuff like that. Like I said, tight end motion in the backfield, Pearson motion, same format. Yeah, okay. The other thing, and this is the last thing that I'll say in the offense, the red zone offense needs some work. Whether that is some not great play calling, or Manny Wilkins hasn't thrown a touchdown yet. I don't think he has. I don't think he threw. Did he throw one in week 1? Let me make sure I'm not being an asshole right now. But the red zone offense, it just seems kind of like, Manny Wilkins has got a lot of command of the offense in general. He has not thrown a touchdown yet. And a lot of the touchdowns have been not a lot. All of them have been off of running backs. I guess Manny Wilkins had 2. Whatever, you get what I mean. They've all been rushing touchdowns in that. Sometimes it seems like Manny Wilkins panics a little bit in the red zone. That's my point here. Manny Wilkins panics a little bit in the red zone. The play calls aren't necessarily the greatest. Like there's somewhere he's kind of rolling out to the right, while the entire pass concept, all the routes are going to the left, and then it's a little bit of a scramble drill, and then he doesn't pull the trigger on a tight end or something like that. It just you would want to see. I want to see him kind of have more command of the offense in the red zone. It seems like maybe he gets it a little bit in his head, gets a little bit of happy feet, feels that sense of urgency. I just want him to do some Wim Hof breathing, just some real. There's a good 10-minute video Wim Hof if he wants to do that during halftime or something like that. But it seems like the red zone offense is not near as because it's still good, but it's just not near as lethal, efficient, effective. Now it's still effective because they're still scoring a shitload of points. It's not. You get what I mean, like by this. It's not near as it doesn't look near as clean. That's what I'll say. It does not look near as clean as the offense for the other 75 yards. I need to see the offense become a little bit more cohesive in that red zone, and I think. Yeah, the play call is one thing, but I think it does start with Manny. I want to see him kind of settle down, not be so eager to to get out of the pocket in the red zone. Just let the plays come to you, man. That's what I want from Manny Wilkins when it comes to being in the red zone. Because this game they called a lot of passing plays in the red zone and they just never turned into anything. I need to see some kind of completion there. I feel like that's not too big of an ask. Okay, so yeah, the offense, less read options, big critiques. Less read options, don't have Ja'Cour Pearson be a lead blocker, and then let's breathe when we get in the red zone. Don't let that sense of urgency get to your head. But that is something that we do need to keep an eye on. Whenever the Battlehawks are getting into the red zone, whenever you're watching that, I want you to pay a little bit of attention to how Manny Wilkins is kind of operating things, because it does look different. It does look different, and it's not a good type of different. So I got that. I mean, that's why we got 2 field goals this game rather than 2 more touchdowns. Okay, for the defense, do I want to break this up with a award? What kind of awards do I got? No. Okay, yeah, no. Let's go into the defense. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. We're gonna go into the defense. Okay. Let's do this. Starting with the defensive line. Nothing bad from the interior. Nothing at all bad from the 2 chonky boys right there in the middle. Austin Faliu and I believe Freedom Akinmoladu is kind of the other one. They rotate there a little bit, but Austin Faliu that guy's rock solid, man. He's sitting in the middle. I mean, he's he's got good gap protection, or good gap integrity. But somebody runs at him, you're getting tackled. Like that's what's going to happen whenever these backs are running at Austin Faliu. I guess there was the one where what's his name? That San Antonio running back, Anthony McFarland. That sounds right. Kind of ran in and bounced out and everything like that. But for the most part, the Austin Faliu has been doing a real good job stopping the run, and every once in a while he'll even get into the backfield and make a tackle for a loss too. So I'm a fan of Austin Faliu. Now, as far as the edge rushers go, with specifically Travis Feeney and Pita Tamoipenu. Travis Feeney had a good game. There's a few times where my critique for him, and it's something that is understandable, is he's a little bit slow whenever they drop him into coverage. I believe the Brahmas had like a 21-yard pass, or maybe it was even like a 30-yard pass, kind of right over the top of his head. He's just a little bit slow getting into the back and getting into to coverage, but for what he does well, you'll take that. He had that very early sack, I believe it was on the Brahmas' first drive, where he just took immediate advantage of the Brahmas' left tackle. Took such a deep drop. Like he took some like Paul Bunyan looking steps. Like the guy had such a deep drop, and then Travis Feeney's like, oh well, I have a lane here to get to the quarterback that is about 12 people wide, and then just cut it and got a sack. I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's great. Take advantage of what they're giving you. There was another one. This was his best play. This was a sack on, I can't remember. It was on a 3rd down, definitely. I think it was on like a 3rd and 10 or something like that. Maybe it was a few yards shorter than that. What happens is that Travis Feeney, so the Battlehawks ended up rushing 5, and that's something I'll get to. As they ended up rushing 5, Travis Feeney takes an inside route and just bull rushes the left guard, the number 67. So Travis Feeney is 5'11", 230 pounds. He bull rushes the left guard, the Brahmas left guard, who is 6'6", 310 pounds, and just takes him and puts him on skates and just hits him like 2, maybe 3 times and just beats him, goes to the inside. And what that does is that forces Kellen Mond is sitting in the pocket. Kellen Mond bounces out to the left. Luckily, Austin Faliu sees that and then bounces out to the left with Kellen Mond, but all because of Travis Feeney forcing Kellen Mond. Man, it was great. And then Austin Falliou doesn't have to worry about this left tackle because fucking Lucas Dennis, a safety, is just occupying his headspace. Man, he's Lucas Dennis is just not getting blocked by this left guard, or not getting stuck by this left guard or left tackle. Sorry. So Austin Falliou is able to just come over from getting blocked by the right guard, comes over. That left guard's not there because Travis Feeney pushed him 10 yards into the backfield. And then Austin Falliou was able to get a sack on Kellen Mond. It's like, man, that worked out real well. All because of Travis Feeney being able to just take a man who's 7 inches taller and 80 pounds heavier than him and just toss him. So that was really good. That was probably his best play. I said that he needs to be better on his drops. He did get dinged up at one point in this game. Looks like there was a kind of a gang tackle at the line of scrimmage, and everybody kind of landed on him, and maybe it jacked up his wrist a little bit. But he went over to the sideline, and we didn't see him for a little bit, and then he came back in and got some good pressures and stuff like that, and made a tackle for a loss on the Brahmas' last drive. So that was good that he's not hurt. And he is not on this injury report. The injury report is Abdul Beachum, Chris Garrett, Hakeem Butler, Manny Wilkins, Nick Whiteside, safety, and Phil Hoskins. So, yeah, no, it is good that he is not on there. Okay, now Peter Taumoi-Penu was a little bit different. So he did have the sack at the end of the game, which was a clutch sack end of the game. I would like to see him have better contain. There was a few times in this game, and to be fair to him, he did get a little bit punked. On one of them, he bit hard on a play action, and he's rushing from the right side. So he's coming down, and then he is going to come in behind and get the tackle if they hand the ball off to the running back. But as a play action, Kellen Mond ends up faking that handoff, and then Peter Taumoi-Penu's too far inside, doesn't keep contained. Kellen Mond is able to run for 10, 12 yards or something like that. So that happened one time. I was like, God damn it, I wish that didn't happen. There was another time where the right tackle just kind of took Peter Taumoi-Penu and kind of just took him to the inside. Again, completely getting rid of any amount of contain that Peter had. And once again, Kellen Mond uses his legs and takes the ball for another first down. It's like, for how good and how physical he is, I would like to see him be a little bit more disciplined when it comes to that. Now, obviously, the getting blocked by a right tackle, it's like, yeah, you're getting blocked by a guy, but the biting that hard on the play action, it's like, man, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. And I believe that was on the Brahmas last drive before halftime, where they ended up getting 3 points and going down the field kind of I don't want to say easily, but They made their way down the field pretty effectively, and some of that was because of Peter Taumoi-Penu. I believe was on like some third downs where he just did not keep contained. I want to be able to see a little bit better out of him. And then Carson Wells, one of the other edge rushers. It was on a 3rd and 4. The Eagles, or not the Eagles, sorry, the Battlehawks rushed 5. And on one side, Nate Maters was coming. On the other side, it was Carson Wells coming. And Kellen Mond got flushed to the left, right in Carson Wells' face. Carson Wells is jumping at him, and Kellen Mond just throws a real bad ball. So that was really good from Carson Wells. So, yeah, as far as the edge rushers go, Travis Feeney could drop faster. Peter Taumoi-Penu needs to work on keeping contain, and then Carson Wells, we don't see him a whole lot, but he had a really good rep there on a 3rd down, so I had to write that down. As far as linebackers go, it's easy to say because it's much easier to have a linebacker who's able to come down, like just head downhill more effectively than it is to have a linebacker in coverage. That being said, I'm almost to a spot where I like number 33. I'm not going to try to say his first name, but Fatukasi. I'm almost at a spot where I think I might like him better than I like Willie Harvey. I think I'm close. I'm very close. So I like Fatukasi, the way that he comes downfield. He was getting some good pressure with some delayed blitzes and just blitzes in general. He's making his way through the line of scrimmage and doing that. I thought that he was better in in coverage than Willie Harvey has. That my thing with Willie Harvey has been in the past that he does a little bit of an over pursuit whenever he's in coverage, and I think Fatukasi was good with that. My knock on Fatukasi though is that, and this happened on the Brahmas scoring the play that they scored. Now it was a 1 yard run, but we knew that they were going to run the ball there. They weren't going to throw the ball from the 1 yard line. It was a first and goal from the one. We knew they were just going to run the ball 4 times probably. He was very late to recognize where the run was, what gap the run was going to come through. He kind of was looking a little bit flat-footed, and by the time he started making his move, like his definitive move towards the gap that the ball was coming through, the running back, it was number 6, whoever the hell that guy was, the Brahmas number 6. It wasn't McFarland. It was their other cat. It was full head of steam, and it kind of more or less trucks Fatukasi. So I'd like to be able to see him be a little bit more decisive, as long as he's doing it smart. I mean, at the goal line, it's like, yeah, this is like it's a blackjack hand. It's like, if you do this right, you're going to win. If you do this wrong, they're going to win. So unfortunately, he did it wrong there. He just was not very definitive. I'd like to see him be able to be a little bit more decisive in that. Mike Rose was very quiet. Mike Rose has been good for like the last 2-3 years. With the Battlehawks, kind of quiet this game on special teams. He made a couple good gang tackles, but he was very good. He ended up having the play where the fucking Brahmas had their second to last turnover on downs. The one where I stopped watching. He ended up getting in the backfield and grabbing McFarland's leg, and it was a 4th and 2, and he got into the backfield and ended up grabbing the running back's leg and did not let him get that first down. So it was good when he came in when he started making plays. He made a very important play and really sealed the game. But it was more quiet. A lot of times we see Mike Rose getting some pass breakups and stuff like that, but that has not been the case through 2 games. But when he did make his name known, he was very well known. Okay, going into defensive backs now. Brendan Sebastian, my big thing, and I wrote this on my notes app too. His interception. Man, I just don't know what the fuck that was. Man, I just don't know. Like, it's the same thing as like with that Magpanashuk play. Like, I watched it and I slowed it down. I was like, I just don't get it. Like, the ball got deflected into his shoulder, and then typically whenever a ball hits something, it bounces, but it just like Velcro. It just sticks to his shoulder and kind of gets putzed around a little bit, and then hits him in the dick, and he still catches it. And it's like, I don't understand this. Like, my body, like my brain cannot comprehend that kind of interception. It was great. It was great interception. That's a very skillful thing to do, is be able to have that ball bouncing around in your chest and stuff like that, hit you in the dick, and then you still come down with it. Like, that's crazy. Like, that was impressive. Like, that was a really big play. That was on first down, and it was like their first drive. Was it their first play after the Battlehawks big? No, it was after the Battlehawks scored though. Yeah, it was after the Battlehawks scored. Then he gets this interception and just kind of just wreck shit. I don't know. It was really good. Okay, so that was him. I think that he was really good in coverage too. There's a few that he let up against Jacob Harris, because Jacob Harris is another just a very, very big man. I think what I'd say he was like 6'5", 6'6". He's Hakeem Butler sized. But I like the way that Brandon Sebastian was doing some coverage, kind of not giving his wide receiver any room to breathe or anything like that. Later on in the game, I believe it was on a 3rd down, maybe it was a 2nd down or something like that. Ball gets thrown his way, but he's able to turn his head and then end up batting the ball away. So I like that. That was really good. I thought Brandon Sebastian, he's good. He's a good corner in this league. Chris Payton-Jones, I've come down to my decision on him, and until further notice, much better in coverage than he is when he's kind of has to be physical on an island. So, like, if he's coming, there was a few plays earlier on in the game. The first play, I believe, actually, on defense, he came in and kind of crashed into the line of scrimmage and made a tackle. And it's like, okay, that's good. He's got a lot of his dudes around him. There's some gang mentality, just pack tactics. And he just came in and smashed a guy. It's like, okay, good. Next play after that gets PBU. Very good. Whenever the ball gets bounced out to the right, or it's a screen, or he needs to make a tackle in an open field, that's where we're having trouble. He does a lot of arm tackling, and he tries to do a lot of arm tackling. And it doesn't necessarily work out a whole lot. So if I'm an offense that's going to be doing some outside runs and some swing passes and stuff like that, I'm doing them to the right. I don't want to fuck with Brandon Sebastian and Lucas Dennis on that left side. I'm gonna go Nate Maters and Chris Payton-Jones. But no, much better in coverage than he is in having to make an open field tackle. Was my part with him. Quinterio Cole that had a really good game too, coming down from safety. He was one of those guys that the Battlehawks were using to bring extra pressure. Sim pressure was a big thing in this game, and I'll get to that in a second. But he was doing really good. And then Lucas Dennis, another guy. The Battlehawks are using their safeties and nickels, and let's get into it now. I like the way that this defense was doing coverages. They were rotating coverages, making it so that Kellen Mond had no idea what the fuck was going on because he's a pretty dumb quarterback. They were doing sim pressures, which I love me a good sim pressure. If you could do a sim pressure good, I'm saying like they bring 6 guys up to the line of scrimmage and then drop a couple of them, drop one of them. They did a couple times. They did bring all 6 guys, and that's not great because that is too many cooks in the kitchen. You start getting guys all banged up and running into each other and stuff like that. That was actually on the John Trey Kirkland pass that set up their first touchdown. That got the Brahmas down to the 1 yard line. This was really the only kind of bumble in coverage that Chris Payton-Jones had, but John Trey Kirkland kind of runs him off, comes back for the ball. Chris Payton-Jones is not there in coverage, catches the ball, and then brings it downfield because there's nobody there because they brought 6 people and nobody made it home. Nobody, like, the pressure was just not there. When you get 6 people, it's like, yeah, 6 people. Everybody's going to be on a one-on-one. It's like, yeah, but also everybody's like within 10 yards of each other. So they're kind of just smacking into each other a little bit. It just looks very disjointed. I would rather make the quarterback and make the offensive line guess on who's coming rather than being like, hey, you guessed right. Get ready to block this guy into this other guy and this other guy that are also rushing next to him. Give me a little bit more space, a little bit more room for these pass rushers to work. But I did like that they were rotating coverages, making it tough for Kellen Mond, and I think that's something that's going to be able to work really well here. It's much easier to be a safety that rotates than it is to be a quarterback that's trying to read that safety who's rotating and guess on the coverage there, because that's what a lot of these quarterbacks are going to end up doing. So yeah, I liked that a lot. But again, Lucas Dennis and Quinterio Cole being used as that extra pass rusher. Like I said, the reason that Travis Feeney is dropping into coverage is because he's the guy that's simming pressure. Then they end up dropping him, whether it be like a whatever. You guys get what I mean. I liked what they were doing. I liked what they were doing with that. Just making Kellen Mond be an absolute fucking prison inside his own brain and process things slowly and try to figure things out while that pass rush is coming at him. So I like that a lot. Too many guys rushing. I also I think that not I think the some of the big plays that they had, like I said with the Travis Feeney dropping into coverage, the big plays that a lot of the big plays that the Brahmas had were based on some busted coverages rather than the guys getting out talented, which is oddly reaffirming to me. Like, I like to know that we have the horses there and that the horses are just in the wrong spots rather than be like, they're in the right spot, they're just getting beat. I feel like that's a little bit reaffirming. So, and that's something that you could practice and kind of firm up, and a different game plan for different teams and stuff like that. So I will say what I noticed is that the big plays that the Brahmas had was based on coverage, not skill level. I think it's tough whenever you're talking about big plays like that, because again, I don't have the all-22. A lot of that shit's not actually on the screen. But based on some of the other angles that they gave us and some of the stuff, seeing where the guy was catching the ball and where the defenders were and stuff like that, it seems like this is a fixable problem. I believe that is everything that I have for the defense. So let's get into the awards and we get another drink because I've been talking for 53 minutes straight, if not longer. Let's get through the awards. First award coming up, ReKawp of the week. You know, ReKawp of the week. ReKawp of the week goes to the best player on the field, player who had the best game. That's obviously it's going to go to Jacob Sailors with 3 touchdowns. Easy, easy, easy. The next one, of the week. The ReKawp of the week is for the best player. The of the week is the of the week. This is between two. Peter Tamoy-Penu for the lack of contain, or Jared Jones-Smith for like the penalties and stuff. There wasn't a whole lot to pick from. People didn't necessarily have a terrible game. Like, I don't want to give it to Chris Payton-Jones again. He got it last week because of the same kind of thing where he was trying to do arm tackles and got beat a little bit. I don't want to give it to him again because he was good in coverage. I think I almost have to give it to Peter Tamoy-Penu, which stinks because he might be like one of the guys who's got the most ReKawps of the week. So maybe this, kind of evens it out a little bit. I really wish that contain was better because that led to a couple first downs off of Kellen Mond's legs. And you want to make Kellen Mond beat you with his arm because he sucks. You don't want to let him beat you with his legs because, I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna give the of the week to Peter Tamoy-Penu. Hopefully that's something that gets better. So ReKawp goes to Jake Sailors. That's gonna go to Peter Tamoy-Penu. Next award is the bad look of the week. Bad look of the week is going to go to Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips, right off the bat, first thing that they showed on that broadcast was Wade Phillips right there on the screen, right there, wearing a quarter zip right in the screen, and sure as shit, you could see every goddamn bit, every lump on his nipples. Man, it's just a bad look. I'm thinking, like, if I know that I'm going to be at an indoor stadium in the spring, and it's probably might be a little bit chilly there, I'm wearing maybe an undershirt or taping my nipples or something like that because them things were thangin', man. They were out there. They're blasting. This guy is an old guy. Like, you would think, is he taking Cialis for his nips? I mean, they were hard. They were hard nipples, and I just think that it was entirely avoidable. So bad look of the week is going to go to Wade Phillips for his nipple shirt. I did worst broadcast of the week for Connor Onion and Joel Klatt. Bitch of the week is going to go to Wade Phillips too. I don't like Wade Phillips. He blocked me. Bitch of the week is going to go to Wade Phillips because there was a roughing the passer call on Manny Wilkins. Lonnie Phillips, I believe, is who the edge rusher was who got the penalty called on him. I mean, just absolutely hammered Manny Wilkins into the ground, and then it goes to Wade. The camera cuts to Wade Phillips, and he's like throwing his arms up in the air. He's like, "Oh, what the hell was that?" Like, Wade, that's illegal, man. Thank God it was on a football field. It's just a penalty because that was assault, my guy. Like, what are you talking about? What, you've been around football, right? You've been around deep. You know the rules. What are you talking, bitch? You bitch of the week, Wade. Bitch of the week for that move. That was, you fucking asshole. What are you talking? What are you complaining about for that? And then he tried to get all buddy with Dean Blandino at a halftime. He's like, "Oh, Dean's been giving me the short stick," which is funny that he said that. It's like, yeah, he knows that he's getting fucked because he fucked up that challenge, which probably shouldn't have been fucked. So yeah, that he gets bitch of the week for that, for the hands up reaction to the roughing the passer. Weird interview of the week. Like, I understand that these guys like have access to the people on the sidelines. I understand that, and they're gonna take advantage of it. I'm thinking maybe I don't interview an offensive line coach who looks like he could kill you, is my point. Because whoever the sideline guy was, who was really the only guy from the entire broadcast team that was in the stadium, walks up to Mark Colombo, the Battlehawks offensive line coach, and says, "What is your actual face? Is it anger? Is it happiness?" What a crazy question to ask a man. What's your face? Is it anger? Is it happiness? I don't think we needed to put happiness as an option, because clearly it's not. Like, that man does not have a smile line. Like, there's no joy in Mark Colombo's face. That is an angry guy. And then Colombo says, "I'm an intense guy." Yeah, man, that was a weird interview. Like, why we didn't need to do that. Like, that was bizarre. And then it ends. He's like, oh, whoever the sideline guy's like, oh, I see your offensive line is coming up. I got to get out of here. It's like, you should have been there in the first place, stupid. Like, oh, you don't. What is your actual face? Is it anger? Is it happiness? No. What are you doing? So that was weird. Hero of the week. Hero of the week is going to go to that ref who didn't call Manny Wilkins for taunting when he put his shaft in that number 28's face. Because there was one you could hear on the broadcast. Some ref was like, "Are we gonna get him for taunting?" And he asked it like 3 times, like, "No, but we got to get him for taunting, right?" And then the other ref is like, "Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that." Like the other guy swatted the ball out of his hand and shoved him in the face. Like, no, we're not gonna call him for taunting, and that is the ref that is a hero. Less penalties, no taunting penalties ever. Actually, if a guy gets a dick in his face, he probably deserved a dick in his face. That's not taunting. That is retribution, right? Is that the right word for it? That is karma. That is he's getting what he deserved. You just got stiff armed in the ground. You get a big old hog right in your face. So the hero of the week goes to whoever the fuck that ref was. And then last award, and we'll end it after this, is the Hell Yeah Award. The Hell Yeah Award is going to go, this is right after the break from the third quarter into the fourth quarter. The broadcast showed these two dudes. Okay, so one dude is like wearing the Birds of War costume from It's Always Sunny. He's got a t-shirt. He's not shirtless, but then he's got like the feathered wing things on, and it like goes up to a hood. And there's no audio of it, but he just looks at his friend that's standing next to him and puts his face out, and his friend decks him, just slaps him right in the face. Powers through like power slap. Slaps him right in the face. And then this dude that got slapped in the face kind of turns his head and then looks back at his friend and just goes, "Yeah!" Like, "Fuck yeah, dude." And just like, that was just stoked dudes. That was stoked dudes. There's a lot of stoked dudes. Let's go. Like those dudes, those stoked dudes those are not fun stoked dudes. Stoked dudes who get slapped in the face and then turn to his friend and just like, fucking rock on, man. Like, hell yeah, you did exactly what I wanted you to do. And what I wanted you to do was to inflict physical harm on me. Fuck yeah. Dudes rock. Hell yeah of the week goes to that guy. That was awesome. I love that. Like, commit more assault on your friends. That's my takeaway. If there's a takeaway from the Battlehawks Week 2 ReKawp when they won 26-9 over the San Antonio Brahmas, assault your friends. Thank you guys very much for joining me. This has been solid. My name is Jake. Go Battlehawks. Go Birds. Go Ironbirds. Cacaw is the law. Anything that you say to anybody at all, they're going to be able to construe that and translate that into this is just a Battlehawks guy. Like, that's like, I was car behind me on the highway today. I'm going 75. I drive fast. I'm going 75. This asshole's going 85. It's like, you know what? You don't need to go 85, dickhead. You are driving. It was a fucking like a old Fusion. An old white Ford Fusion. I was like, you're not 85 miles an hour worthy. Your car's not 85 miles an hour worthy. And he was driving behind me, and I ended up getting over into the right lane because I was like, I don't want this asshole in my dick anymore. And then he drives by me, and then honks his horn, and then I give him a what the fuck do you want? I give him that. And honestly, obviously, when I did that, and then he just drove away and then like didn't shoot me or anything like that. Because I guess people do that with road rage. I don't know. Never happened to me. I've never been shot. But I gave him a, what the fuck do you want? And obviously when I said that to him and the reason he drove away, he was like, oh, that's a Battlehawks guy. All right, that's fine. And then he just got the hell out of there. So that's my point. Anything that you say can and will be used to benefit you because you're a fan of this team. And you deserve to be a fan of this team because this team is kicking ass. The problems that we have are very small, guys. They're very small. I will be back with you later this week with a bird's eye preview for the Battlehawks' first game, another home game against the DC Defenders. That's on Sunday. So I'll be back with you probably on Friday when we get a little bit more information about the injury reports and stuff like that. But again, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I will talk to you later.